Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where last episode we got to this point in this escort mission. It's basically over, but we're going to kill this Lance over here. We'll see how long that ends up taking. But I'm actually going to reserve us here and let the enemy move first. We've got some allies down there. We don't expect them to be of much use though. So our commando friend down there is going to not really move. Same with that Stinger. Are they going to... Can they make it up over here? I expected them to take this road. Interesting.
Careful! They're looping around back!
Where was that shot from? Ah! There's a Clint and a Whitworth over here. And a commando and a... Okay, so they're split. Good to know. So these guys are going to be gone in a moment, right? So we're going to take our Javelin, and we're going to come up over here first.
Got it.
As I said, there is a Clint and a Whitworth up here. We're going to fire on the Clint since that's the only one we have LOS on right now. 16 damage, that'll do. The Whitworth will move up and fire on the Javelin. Not much damage dealt there.
I'm showing minor damage.
Yes, Commander.
Our Centurion is also going to backtrack and come around up this way. I'm not going to sprint it because we can't get into cover, but I am going to position here. And we're going to fire the light tag and the Ultra AC5 in X1 mode.
Let's see how you like
We did manage to tag it. That's pretty huge, actually.
Waiting for orders.
Our stealth is, I think, going to engage down over here. We're going to split as well. So we're going to move our stealth down to here.
Printing.
We are ECM jamming them. We can only fire on this commando, and our hit odds aren't the best. We did get a little bit of damage in there, and we actually managed to injure that pilot. Nice.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Our sheriff is incapable of... Actually, no, we can fire on this Clint. Do it.
Got it.
We didn't hit, but we weren't expecting to.
For another shot.
You're not going to get another
Waiting for
shot.
order.
You're going to be evac'd. Okay, we're not going to be able to do anything with
Down
that
start.
one.
Cooling.
Or this one. Too far away.
Good to go.
The LRM-10 will be able to fire on this Clint, though. And absolutely do that. Another 8 damage. We'll take it. And otherwise, we'll need to move our Clint. And we want to protect our right-hand side if we can here. So we'll position, say, here, and protect our right-hand side like so.
Roger.
Let's check our hit odds. Pretty good on that Stinger. Go ahead and fire the rockets. I want that Stinger dead. Sadly, we missed the ERPPC there. We did a lot of damage to the Stinger, but without the ERPPC hitting, it's not going to be a kill. Whitworth attacking that Clint. Not getting any damage in, unfortunately. Our Maxim friend also attacking the Clint, and also not getting any damage despite the tag. And that Saracen not going to do anything. Yep, our convoy escort units are gone. Fantastic. And now let's just finish off the enemies.
Ready for orders.
So our Javelin is going to close in, I think, over here. This is only 2 evasive pips, but I'm going to accept that. We're going to move in here. We will be in cover, and we'll just shoot our SRMs at this Clint, see what we can do. Not bad, actually.
Yes, Commander.
This Clint is going to engage down over this direction. We should definitely be in short-range targeting mode, and indeed we are. Yeah, fire on that Stinger. This is unfortunately a front arc now, but I wanted to get down into the cover.
Confirmed.
We missed the PPC again. That's a lot of damage on that Stinger,
Target's taking a critical hit.
but not as much as I was hoping for. The enemy Clint moves up, fires on our Javelin. It does hit with its autocannon, but the Javelin's armor is holding well,
Damage is minor, Commander.
and we were in cover there, so it's fine.
Commander?
Our stealth is going to close in over here. Once again, I'd like to protect this right side. So we'll do that.
Coordinates received.
And we're just going to do everything we can to this Stinger.
Tell me what to shoot.
Wow, we missed a lot of important stuff there.
Critical hit, Commander.
Luckily, the Stinger did take a lot of damage. And it's not a very threatening mech anyway. Okay, so our Centurion is going to close in up here and go for that Clint.
Move order confirmed.
We're not going to fire an X2 mode.
Copy that.
We did manage to tag the Clint there. That's great. Our friend the Whitworth moves up, goes for their Whitworth. Doesn't do much, but it gets a little bit done. Their Whitworth moves, fires on our Clint on that weak side. Luckily it misses. And the way it's positioned right now is very awkward for it, actually. So the Stinger moves, goes for the Clint, barely does anything.
I'm under heavy fire.
You took one tick of a machine gun. You're okay for now. The Commando is maybe another story. It also went for the weak side. This isn't shocking.
Not much armor
However,
left in that location.
they are both,
Minor
like all
damage,
of their
Commander.
mechs are in a bad position, in my opinion, given that they didn't inflict significant damage with this movement. If they
Good
had,
to go.
then it would be okay, but they didn't. So this would require a charge. However, this would not. I mean, we're actually better off hitting this Stinger from the front arc, though. So I'm going to reserve.
Order.
Our Clint is going to come around and hit the Commando from this rear arc. Do it.
On my way.
Solid hit. That was extremely solid, in fact. Is that a knockdown? That's a knockdown. I think that's a pilot incapacitation. Yes, indeed it is.
My heat sinks can't
Fantastic.
bend fast enough. I'm taking
So that
damage.
pilot is incapacitated. Our Javelin is now going to come up here and go for the rear arc punch on the Whitworth. Now, the hit odds on this are a little low, but that's okay.
Confirmed.
And we did manage to hit, actually. That's a structure exposure and an LRM-10 destruction.
Take that.
Very nice. Now, the Clint is going to move, and this is the danger point. That's fine. I don't care about that in the slightest. That is entirely irrelevant.
Taking minimal damage.
Indeed. Indeed you are. So we're going to move in and frontal attack the Stinger with a melee from our stealth.
Affirmative.
And that's a kill. Fantastic.
Enemy down. Gotcha.
That is exactly what we were going for there. Our ally is going to move now. And fire on that Clint. That's okay. Phase 13, the Whitworth moves. Goes for the Javelin. Just gets a medium laser in there. That's okay. And the Whitworth is kind of poorly positioned,
Commander?
but not tremendously. Just because of the location of the Centurion, it's okay.
Moving to position.
Let's check these hit odds. It's definitely best on the Clint, and we'll fire this in X2 mode. Good damage to that Clint.
Reporting critical hit.
Okay, the Saracen moves up, does not fire. The Whitworth fires on the Clint. That's good. We get a heat sink destruction there. Phase 8. This is probably like the Prowler or something. The Maxim. Okay. No damage on that Clint.
Waiting for
Okay.
orders.
Our Clint is going to start making its way around this way. And sink a little heat.
Receiving you.
Our Javelin is going to, once again, go for the rear arc on this Whitworth. We did a lot of damage to it previously. That's not rear arc at all. I had my angle completely wrong. That's entirely my fault. Oh well. A little bit more damage to that Clint.
Good to go.
Our stealth is going to sprint its way over this way. We want to get up this hill as soon as we can. provide reinforcements up here. So the Clint is going to move now. Once again, very irrelevant. I really, really don't care about that.
Awaiting orders.
We're just going to walk in here, and we can just do a frontal attack here. Well, we could get a side arc, but it'd be exposing our rear arc, and I'd prefer not to do that. I actually think that we just maybe stay put here. Maybe even back off. No. Staying put here is, I think, fine. Light him up.
Roger that.
Fantastic. There's a torso destruction. Our friend the Whitworth goes for their Whitworth and gets some rear arc damage in there. I like it. Their Whitworth moves now, and this is where that positioning error is a problem, potentially. Whoa! Where was that structure exposure at? Well, it must have been in the leg, right? That's just bad luck, ultimately, but the Javelin dying is not the end of the world. The question is, did we lose the pilot? And I don't know if we did or not. I mean, he didn't eject. Yeah, it's saying Kraken's dead. So if that's the case, that's fine. Unfortunate, unlucky, and also my own fault, because I made that positioning error. That's my fault. Not even going to really say that it was that unlucky because I made a positioning error. I mean, it was unlucky, don't get me wrong.
Roger.
But it was also a positioning error. But losing the Javelin isn't that big of a deal. We're going to go for this Clint at this point. We're going to go for the kick and the kill.
Move order confirmed.
There we go. And honestly, I think it would kind of be best if the Javelin is, like, completely irreparable. That was always a backup mech anyway. Structure exposure on that Clint isn't necessarily great, but we should be able to get rid of that Whitworth this round. Okay. Our allies are being, you know, not particularly useful. They're getting a little damage in there. Okay, so our Clint definitely needs to protect its right side. So if we move up here, that will protect its right side. Unless we get melee'd, I suppose.
Roger
So we're
that.
going to move here and do what we can on this Whitworth. This is front arc, unfortunately.
Roger that.
But we do get a sensor impairment on him.
Reporting critical hit.
Let's see, he moves phase 15, so this is fine, I think. The Locust moves up, fires on the Whitworth's side arc, doesn't get any damage done.
Good to
Our
go.
stealth now moves in, and I am actually going to sprint the stealth up to here. Can we get into rear arc? No. But we can get into here,
Double
and that's what we're going to do. That was a lot of side arc damage, and he
Commander?
lost his evasive, which is very important to us. We're going to position here for Ultra AC5 ranging,
Moving out.
and let's see what we can get done. We should be able to kill him if we get good luck here.
Firing all weapons.
That wasn't good luck, but he ejected. We'll take it.
Mission successful.
So there's a small chance that our pilot survives, but it's not a great chance. We do have backup pilots, we're not too concerned about that, and losing the Javelin is no big loss. Which I am expecting that the Javelin is completely destroyed from that. Yeah, Kraken killed in action. As expected, it was bad luck that the SRM ammo blew, but, you know, with a mech like the Javelin, it's not shocking. Especially with me mispositioning it. Like, that's really deeply unsurprising. So, do we care about any of these mech parts? I kind of don't think we do. SRM-6s are good. I think we'll grab one of those. I don't really care about any of this, necessarily. We do have cases. Engine Core 240s are okay. Ballistic accuracy FCS. I like that. And is there anything else good in here? I mean, Artemis 4 LRM ammo. I guess that's okay. We'll confirm that. We did get Clint parts out of that. We're probably not going to utilize a Clint, to be clear. Going to sell that medium laser, these basic cockpits as well. Jump jets, standard heatsink cooling, standard fusion engine. Streak SRM ammo is good to keep around. Okay. So I'm expecting that the Javelin is irreparable. But honestly, with a mech of that size and that fragility, it's to be expected that that happens from time to time, especially when I miss position like that. I should have moved one hex over, and then there was a very good chance that we could have gotten a kill on the Whitworth. Even if we didn't, it would have been a different angle for him to fire back on us, and I mean, that's ultimately what that comes down to, right? I mispositioned. I did not intend to go where I ended up going. It was just me messing up. Kraken has died. No. Don't get started on this, Yang. Because
Welcome to the grease pit.
I kind of want to just scrap the Javelin. Yep, just scrap it. We'll get the Wolverine online, we'll replace it with the Clint. We have the Mongoose and the Stinger as backups. The Stealth is going to need armor. So we'll just max out that armor. And let's see, yeah, we had that extra tonnage in this that we didn't have anything we could do with. That's okay.
On it. I'll let you know
And
when
the Centurion needs a little bit of armor as well. So we'll just max that out. Perfect.
Log and note.
And this Clint needed some repairs. In fact, I'm going to do it from here. We'll repair all and max out that armor. And let's see here. We have about an extra ton that we can put in. So we're going to do something along the lines of that. And that. Is that maxed out? Yes, that looks maxed out. Okay, validate that. Fantastic.
I'll get it.
And now we do have the cash to start working on this Wolverine. So let's go ahead and start that. We'll repair all of this. We'll strip out the SRM-4 and the jump jets. And this is just a base Wolverine here. That's already 600k. It's a lot. There's no doubt about that. We do have required heat sinks in this once we get our engine cores in here. What is the default? Default is 275. The best we can do is a 240. And we've got quite a lot of laser hardpoints. We've got 4 laser hardpoints and a missile hardpoint. So I think what we want to go for here is maybe just like a rocket 20 in this hardpoint. Like that. And then we're probably going to want, well, we've still got 18 tons remaining here. Let's max out this armor. Still 16 tons. We're going to need some heat sinks. I think that's pretty clear. We have double heat sinks. We have a single regular heat sink. What kind of heat sinks do we require? We require 1 external heat sink. So this thing's going to run hot with 4 laser hardpoints. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. We're going to run an energy accuracy FCS. And maybe we should just take into account that this thing is going to run pretty hot. Run like a pair of small heavy lasers and medium pulse lasers, but we've got the tonnage, right? That tonnage is the potential issue. Like, we could very easily run large lasers in this. But that's already killing that heat efficiency. Like, hypothetically, we could run something like this with backups of medium pulse lasers. That would go here. And then we'd still have 2 tons for heat sinks. But look at this heat efficiency. I mean, it's garbage, right? We already knew that. We knew that was going to be the case. We're going to have a lot of excess tonnage on this. A lot of excess tonnage. To the point where we could run an Arrow 4 on this. Ah! I mean, we only have the 5 rounds of ammo. Oh, we need an Artemis 4 on this to run that. Right! I don't think we have an Artemis 4 FCS right now. We do not. And it's just because we lack non-Artemis 4 ammo for the Thunderbolt. It doesn't require Artemis 4, but this is guided Artemis 4 arrows. Or rather, yeah. Requires an Artemis 4 TTS to be installed. Yeah. So we don't have any other types of Arrow 4 ammo. This would be amazing if we could do it. Unfortunately, we can't. Like, the ideal scenario would be like a pair of ER large lasers out here, and this isn't going to work, right? We already know this isn't going to work. But a pair of ER large lasers and an Arrow 4 here with a couple tons of ammo and some heat sinks. We'd run like ferrofibrous armor, endosteel structure in order to try to get our tonnage. Probably drop our engine core down to something like an engine core 140. And then have a few tons of Artemis 4 ammo, as well as a bunch of heat sinks. That would be the idea. And, I mean, it would be nice. But, unfortunately, it's not an option. We're very heatsink limited right now. Which definitely makes things complicated. But what I'm thinking right now is maybe we just get this to a minimal state. Like this. And then we'll come back to this later on. So we'll just do that for now.
On it. I'll let you know when that's done.
And the top priority should be this Centurion. We're going to need to tick forward a little bit here. We're going to get our refit harness done now. That's fantastic. And as far as our next upgrade goes, is there anything super duper cheap that we could grab? Yes, actually, this would be amazing.
All right,
Do
we'll
it.
get the team on it right away.
Okay, so we're going to tick forward a couple more days here. So, unfortunately, the Centurion CN-10J is still a work in progress for another 11 days. It's not the end of the world. We can deploy as is, but it's not ideal. It's for sure not ideal. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to see if we can fetch some more funds before this financial report. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I just realized that we haven't done any pilot training. Let's see here. Coldfire, you're in the stealth. I think I'd like to grab you a point of Juggernaut. Excellent. El Duce, Paladin, Rain, you can grab a point of piloting.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Receiving you.
Savarok, you drive the Javelin/Clint, which at this point would just be the Clint. So I think a point of Tactics for you is good. Tactician will do the trick.
Mech Warrior training.
And Succubus, you just need a point of Guts. Sounds good. And now that cut will go in, and next episode, we'll just deploy straight away. See you all next time.